welcome to Lifting Leaders Podcast, where we're unleashing leader possibilities to make a better world. I'm Tricia Ryan, and together with Crystal Roberts, we're diving deeper into some of the complexities of the world's most critical challenges and exploring innovative ways of navigating through them.
Through interviews with experts and leaders just like you, we are exploring what it takes to thrive as a leader today and examining new ways of thinking about how to creatively lead into a more equitable, socially responsible, and sustainable future. And the future starts now.
Hello, listeners. This is Tricia, and I will let you know that today I am here on my own as Crystal is out on assignment, and she will be back next week. But I'm so excited that I'm bringing you somebody who I just adore and we've had on our podcast before, and that is Carla Ondrasik. Let me tell you a little bit about Carla before we bring her on. Carla's interesting and inspiring career path began with the Department of Defense top security clearance via Northrop Corporation to Employee Relations Coordinator for Sunstrand Aviation, and ultimately as Vice President of Creative Writer Development for EMI Music Publishing, where, in a highly competitive world of music, she made dreams a reality for songwriters and recording artists on America's top Billboard charts. Though she was responsible for the sales of millions of records worldwide, her proudest achievement has been discovering, signing, and securing a record deal for her now husband, Jon Ondrasik, who performs under the moniker Five for Fighting. While there's no five or fighting, he has certainly packed a powerful punch as a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum artist with songs forever embedded in the America's Songbook, including the hits 100 Years and Superman, and one of my latest favorites, OK. Jon continues to create music and inspire us all with his music. Celebrating 27 years of marriage to the love of her life and being the mother of two grown kids, Carla has been developing her no-try concept, which reveals the simple word shift that can transform your intentions into actions and allow you to finally realize your dreams and life goals. And I would tell you that she continues to write a book, but we're going to be talking about that today because I think it's written. Anyway, she is not just an author. She also does private workshops, group discussions, as well as various speaking engagements, podcasts, and she shows up anywhere she can share her message with as many people as possible. And we are so happy, I am so happy to welcome you to Lifting Leaders Podcast. It's been a while. How are you?
So good, and it's good to be back. I'm excited to share new stuff.
You are a distinguished person in our book here because we don't have very many people come back. It's not that we don't like them, but we have so much to talk about with the people we bring back, and you are our second timer, and I think as we get later in the year you will be our third timer because we have things to accomplish at the end of the year. So I want to just ask, is there anything before we get started on our questions today that you would like to talk about, which I think we need to talk about what's going on right now. For our listeners, I just let you know Carla and her family live in Southern California, and if you haven't heard the news, it has been on the news nationwide, actually worldwide right now. California is experiencing the most devastating fires that they have ever had in the history of California, and it is just tragic. So, Carla, how are you guys doing? How's your family?
Well, as I sit here, we have our bags packed at the door, ready to go at a moment's notice. We were on high alert last night. It's been a roller coaster, and we went through this in 2018 with the Woolsey fire. Our neighbors' homes burnt down, and we had to leave for 3 months because of damage. So this year, we're feeling really grateful that we are still in place, but a lot of our friends and people that we work with have lost homes. It's a reality. and it's weather, so it's very tenuous. We don't know. It could change while we're on this phone call. We could get the alert. We're so used to now hearing those crazy alerts on our phones and sirens and anyway. So I'm feeling grateful that I'm in a position where I can help the people that we know and we don't know, and that's what we're doing now.
Oh, I'm grateful for that too, and I'm very grateful that California, Gavin Newsom has brought in people from all over the United States who are first responders to help with this, and so our prayers go out to all of those first responders and the people who have had to weather this devastation. It's just terrible. So
it's really sad. I'm not looking forward to going into Malibu and seeing everything, and some of our favorite places are gone. And anyway, but I'm focusing on gratitude and being able to help people.
Wonderful. Well, let's get started with our interview, because you never know when that phone might ring, right? So our first question, and it is a question that we ask every single time we have a guest on, and I know you've heard this one before, when we did episode 89, which dropped on March 11th of last year, and that is, tell us your story, and just add anything that may have happened between the last time you were here and now. Okay?
Okay. Well, a lot has happened. When I was on the podcast last time, I remembered saying that I'm writing this book, but I didn't have a home for it yet. And I'm so thrilled to say that since I spoke to you, I have secured a book publishing deal with a company called Post Hill Press, which is through Simon & Schuster.
Ah, wonderful.
So I have had an incredible amount of support. And I had a very quick deadline to finish the book. So I guess it's safe to say that I've just been writing, like literally holed up and finishing the book so I could meet my deadline and getting to work with some incredible people along the way. And so I finished that, and then I got to reconnect with my family and my friends, because I was pretty much MIA for a long time. And anyway, so I'm so excited by what's to come, and so that's basically what's been in my world.
That's a lot. I remember the last time we talked, I think it was right after your last visit with us, and you were sequestering yourself so that you could get through writing a chapter because you had a chapter deadline or something. And all I could think of was, that is the most intense thing to have to go through once you secured a publisher, to have to, hit their deadlines. It's got to be a lot. And yet, you walked the streets and you talked to people. That was interesting.
Yeah, I'll always do that. I love doing that.
So we're just a few weeks into this new year, and this is like the perfect podcast today, because this is the new year where people set resolutions. They make that resolve. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get it done, and I'll get it done by the end of the year, or by the first quarter, or by next week. And they're breaking them almost as immediately as they start them. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about what in the world is making that happen. We've been doing it since the dawn of time, I'm sure, and we seem to be breaking them since the dawn of time as well. So any idea about what's going on and what in the world we need to do to stop doing this?
Absolutely, I know. 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February.
Oh my gosh.
Fail by February. And, I think that it's really important. It's so great that every year we want to grow, and to acknowledge that we want to make changes, and we want to better our health, or better our business, or better our relationships, whatever they are. Mm-hmm. That's such a really wonderful aspiration to have. And one of the things that I always say is the problem with keeping them, the problem isn't that you aren't trying hard enough. It's that you're trying in the first place. And that begins with your language and your mindset. And it's not our fault, because when we try, it's very unconscious. We use that word try because we're taught to try. We're taught that it's a positive thing that's going to move the needle forward. And we're taught that if we say we're going to try to do all these things, they're going to happen. So be kind to yourself and know that you're trying because it's all you've ever known. Okay.
Right.
And then number 2 is really become aware of language, the language that you're using to achieve those goals. So if you say that you are going to try to lose those 5 pounds, that's an easy one, right? You have to change that word from a try to I am going to lose the weight. I am losing the weight. I am actively losing the weight right now. I am a person who will be 5 pounds thinner in the realistic goal of the next 5 months. And you've got to own the motivation and own the intention. If you want to try, then own that. Okay? Just say, you know what? My intention, my New Year's resolutions is to try to lose 5 pounds.
Right.
And if you do that, if you own that you're going to try, you're not going to beat yourself up and feel bad and get discouraged and become not hopeful and then just give up. Okay? But if you say, I am going to do this, and you own that intention, you're going to redirect your brain. You are going to redirect your action. There's actual science that goes behind this. There's once a decision is made to act, you actually are activating the motor pathways in your brain. It's called neuroplasticity. And the more you do something, the more you make those new connections. So that's the power of language and
Right.
our word, what we tell our brains of what we want to do.
Well,
So-
and part of that is, when you said that, you were talking about, I am 5 pounds down in 1 month. In my head, as you were saying that, I could visualize that, but it's hard for me to visualize trying. I am a very visual person, and so when I say things, I actually can almost see what I'm saying. It's just the way I am. And so when you were saying it that way, it was like, I do understand that. I can see how that would be easier for some people to set a goal for doing something over trying to do it. But we've been raised to believe that trying was the best thing to do. I know my mom used to say it all the time, just try it. And if it doesn't work, it's okay,
Try
But-
your best, try harder, try again, give it a try. Like, that's what we've been raised on. And I think that it's also really important when you set the intentions, everybody that's listening, just know that the universe wants you to win. It's set up for you to win. It's energy. It's the law of attraction. You are going to get out what you put out. You're going to receive the energy and the intention that you put out into the universe. So these things are real. And what you're talking about when you say I can envision it, that's creative visualization. And there's power in that. Because when you visualize, you are giving it so much power. And you're allowing your brain to make a connection so that it's now searching for the things to help you achieve whatever that is.
Yeah, it is a science. I know it is. I've been, studying neuroscience and stuff for a long time, and it's funny that we are just now in some cases taking this seriously, or we're actually putting some emphasis on some of the things that we've been wondering why we're not getting anywhere, or why our productivity is down, or why whatever. And it's part of it is just that we're ignoring the neuroscience behind that, which is, has been there. It's been there.
Yep.
So for some time now, and we both know this, you've been walking the streets as Woman on the Street, right? Doing spot interviews with people all around the whole topic of trying, right? So as you think about this experience, were there any surprises for you during this walking the street? And I know you're still doing it, and then what insights might you have that came to you from this experience?
It's such a great question. Well, I love the fact that people are so excited to talk about trying. That's what I lead with. I say, I'd love to talk to you about, what you think about trying, and they light up. It's so new and interesting to them. So I think surprising for me is that people haven't thought about this before. That surprises me. And secondly, how excited they are to talk about it. Also, I'm always so surprised. We are all trying. Every single human being on this planet has something that they're trying to do, no matter who you are. And I could go up to a 95-year-old woman on a park bench or a teenager, in line at Starbucks, and everybody has something they're trying to do. So I think it's been really great and surprising for me to see how many people have unconsciously been trying without even realizing that the word has power, and how much they love to talk about it. It's so great.
It is, to me, it's been really exciting and surprising to see the number of people who are not only willing but eager to talk to you. You can tell, and they all have something to say. I mean, it's almost as if they were waiting for you to show up. You just did one the other day in a gym, I think. Or it was posted in the gym. Oh, my word. And he had such a great response to, not trying, but just doing. I thought, were you waiting for this? It was just great. It was a lovely thing. So, yeah.
And he was just walking by. And you know what he said was, my mother has been telling me since the 60s. And I'm like, that's how long this has been buried under the table. But we've subliminally been aware of this. I mean, there's the Yoda, there's the Nike thing, just do it. But no one really pushes to the front. It's that word. It's trying. That's been our stumbling block. So yeah, that guy was great.
Well, you just mentioned something that I think is interesting, and it is something like the Nike whoosh, right, or swoosh. Just do it. And I think the part that I missed the boat on when they were doing that campaign, it was very popular, and it had a lot of impact on a lot of people. But there were a lot of people it kind of missed, and part of that was that they didn't see the difference between what they were doing and that slogan. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and yet it was very different because we were all out there trying, right?
Well, imagine if it said, just try to do it, right? Imagine if that was a statement. It wouldn't be as powerful as it is today.
I would never get my shoes tied.
Yeah, right. It's still as powerful as it was when it was created, which is really incredible. It's motivating, it's inspiring, it's a word, it's energy, it's action, and try is the opposite of that.
Okay, so the last time you were here, you talked about your book, the book you were writing, the book that's been written, right? And as one of your social media followers, and I know there are many, I am excited about the prospects of digging into this future bestseller, and yes, folks, it will be. Could you give us an update on your journey towards publishing and just a hint about what we might expect to read in between the cover?
Absolutely. Well, the journey was unbelievable. It was filled with such so many emotions. Believe it or not, here I am writing a book about not trying and doing, but yet I was filled with insecurity and why am I doing this? And is anybody going to read it? And it was fear of doing something new. And, I think the biggest challenge I had to get over was my own self. I had everything, everybody rooting for me, and I had so much support, and I had all of the information, everything I needed, all the research, but it was me. It was my own self just questioning everything. So I think the daily battle of conquering that is what I'm most proud of, making it to the finish line and conquering all of that. So that was one thing. And I think a fantastic thing that happened was Mel Robbins agreeing to endorse my book.
Yes.
And the front cover endorsement. And I mean, she's just such an idol of mine. And I've been following her for over a decade.
Wow.
And having her in any way involved in this project is amazing and such a gift. So that was super exciting. And within the book, I think readers are going to find it's really written in a fun way. It's a fun book, and it's enlightening, but it's also filled with scientific research, really beautiful stories, and examples, and there are exercises that are simple at the end of each chapter. I really wanted to keep our minds are going at 1,000 miles an hour. We want to receive information quickly. We want it yesterday. We don't want to read a textbook. Mm-hmm. So, it's significant, the body of work, but yet it's also a really fun, easy read that when you close the book, you are on a new path. You have this beautiful new piece of information that you're going to be excited to start using right away. So
I love that. It sounds like it appeals to all adults because we like to have something I know I do personally like to have something that I can find a challenge and then write about it or, journal or whatever. It sounds like that's in there. I love the idea of having testimonials and stories and stuff. It's so important. And, I love it. I can't wait I really can't wait to read it. It's got to come out soon. We're going to talk about that shortly. So you previously mentioned the last time we met that you've been doing the Don't Try, Do journey for a few years. It wasn't something that you just picked up right before we started talking to each other. So with everything you've learned and discovered throughout this process, what are you most excited about?
Oh my gosh, changing lives. Literally, that is the most exciting thing for me, is to know and get feedback from people that they excitedly, it happens now. I didn't do it, I tried, I'm doing it, seeing it, and just becoming the person that you want to be and doing those things is so exciting. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about my own growth, about becoming a speaker, and traveling and meeting people, and just to see how I'm going to grow and evolve from this. So it's all very exciting.
I love that. I mean, isn't that the ultimate, that you go on this journey maybe with the goal to help others, but in the process, you really discover part of yourself. That's wonderful. Okay. So what outcomes are you hoping that this is going to yield ultimately?
Ultimately, that's back to what I had just mentioned. Mm-hmm. It is changing lives. And where this goes, my next project may be hyper-focusing the message. So not trying for the student, not trying for the parent,
yes.
Not trying for the, because I think that that razor focus might be really helpful for some people. This is a broad, general start becoming conscious of the word, but then focusing. So that could be somewhere down the line. I'm excited about the possibility of that.
I see other possibilities as well. I know you do it, but I'm thinking in business because I actually work. I have a day job. So in my job, and maybe not in the current organization, but in past organizations, there was a lot of emphasis on, let's just try this and see if it works, let's do a pilot. We don't really want to commit. Let's just see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then, we really didn't put a lot of money into it. And I realized that there's always money on the line or time on the line when you're talking about doing something bigger. But I do see an opportunity for this to thrive in a business setting where people may have been so used to doing that they're risk averse and they don't want to take that step, right? They're afraid to take the step to just say, well, let's just do it and we'll be done and see where it goes. I think we might see a lot more productivity for sure, because people would be getting things done. We'd probably have better results. I do believe there is a place for testing the waters. But I do also think that there's a lot of times that we don't bother just going forward with something, and we may have all of the materials, we may have everything in place, and all we really need to do is just jump.
Yep. Yeah, we dip our toe. There's so many reasons that we try, and again, it's all in the book. But number one, fear is the biggest thing. I devote a lot of time to talking about how fear keeps us from doing.
Oh, yeah.
And fear is exhausting. It's physical. So just thinking about, if you're a company or a business or personally, just thinking about what you're going to have to do is really scary. And that causes a lot of mental fatigue, which manifests as physical fatigue. Just breaking it down really small every day, it's like, imagine, you work all day, okay? And then you start thinking about dinner, okay? Oh my gosh, so now I have to decide what we're going to have. Then I have to go to the market and buy the ingredients. Then I'm going to go home and prepare it. Then I'm going to have to clean up the mess. This is all mental fatigue. Thinking, talking, wondering, of what you're going to try to make for dinner. And then you end up, because of this exhaustion, just, forget, I'm just going to order a pizza and do takeout, okay? So all of that, if you would just say, you know what? I'm going to go home and we're going to have a beautiful piece of halibut. You don't put yourself through all that mental torture.
I like that.
To actually give yourself, and then the whole process becomes something different than what it would have been. So there are so many reasons, and some of them are real. If there's a financial constraint, we can only do this much, but you can't go into it, we'll try it, because you're going to half-part it. So yeah, that would be a really helpful thing, to just really making the difference between trying and doing in a business setting or in a personal setting or in a school setting or in any setting possible.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that it's really not that trying is in some cases so bad, given that there's, financial obligation or whatever that goes with it. But it's the idea that that's the first place you always go. And to me, that's the part that I would love to see us all change, is that it's not always, you don't always have to try everything first, Yeah. So I love that. Thank you. So I know you've written this book, and I know you've been on this journey for a while, but do you have any advice for listeners who maybe have something that they'd really love to write or speak about, but have never really jumped off that platform yet either? And I know you've been speaking, you've been doing all sorts of things. Do you have any advice for them?
I do. Okay, so my first piece of advice would be to start doing it. Whether you have a place for it, whether you have anyone to read it or read it to, just start doing it. Throw yourself into it. Write those thoughts down. Start your journal. Start your book. Start your screenplay. Start filming yourself and giving talks to yourself. Okay? Begin to do it. That's number one. Number two is, I think it's really important to be very crystal clear on your motivation. Why are you doing it? That is number two. So for me, I was not doing this it actually made it difficult for me to continue my process, because I wasn't doing it for fame. I am very uncomfortable being in the limelight. I've always been a behind the scenes person. I wasn't doing it for financial gain. I wasn't doing it for my ego, My motivation was to help people. Period.
Lovely.
And once I got that clear, I had everything I needed, because the days that I didn't want to write, or the days that I didn't want to push myself forward, the days that I was feeling insecure, I knew, if I don't do this, I'm not going to help the person that I don't even know in Australia or New Zealand or China, or in Iowa. Like, I have a motivation to finish this book, and that was like my guiding light. So number one, just begin, get the words down on paper. And number two, really be clear on your motivation. And I think lastly, what has carried me through is to be kind to yourself.
Oh, I love that.
Be kind to yourself. Be patient. Know that it's something new. Know that you're going to fail. You're going to make terrible mistakes. You're going to waste time. You're going to have bad days. But if you just keep going and keep doing it, okay?
Yes.
Do not try. That's going to allow you for making excuses of why you can't do it or blaming other people why you can't do it. You know, that's all in the book, by the way. There's a difference between a reason and an excuse. And you need to know what the difference is. So have great motivation, start doing it, and be really kind to yourself, and have fun. I made this process as fun as I could. And you're gonna want the things I dreaded the most, I found that I loved doing. So because I had so much fun with it. So I really wish for everybody that's listening that wants to write a book or write a screenplay or begin a journal or begin anything, do jump in and allow yourself the grace and the kindness and the gentleness, but you keep powering on and keep doing it at the same time.
Oh, I love this. You know, Crystal and I have been doing a survey or a research for around the topic of hope for the last few years. And we finally closed the survey on December 31st, and we are getting ready to do the analysis on all of that. So we're excited, and we're not sure where it's going to go, we've thought about doing a couple of different books, and we'll never see. We'll never know until we get going, but we are getting excited about the whole prospect of going. But I love this. Having fun? Absolutely. No question, right? But I do love the part where you're saying be kind to yourself and to be clear about your motivation. That is something that I think we often don't have set to begin with, and then we lose sight, you know, I'm glad you said
everything.
that.
It's everything. It's the fire that's going to fuel you. It's the fire that's going to keep you going is your motivation. And a lot of times we just blankly say, well, I want to try to do this. And then it just dissipates into the universe without any foundation. So when it's the foundation to your dreams is your motivation. I just thought of that in this moment to say that because it's really powerful. Your motivation is super, super important. I think I was a part of your hope. I answered the question the first time I was on the show. I don't remember what my answer was.
It was similar to that, I believe. And, you know, I can always send you that feed again so that you can go back and look at it. We will be sending you this feed after the episode so that you can go back and write down what you just said right? That you're going to want it in your next book, believe me. Okay, so we have one last question to ask, and this is another one that we ask every time, and that is, Carla, you're going forward. What are you most excited about? What's next on your agenda?
Well, right now, my honest answer is it's a little scary. I'm a little like the next leg of this journey. You know, the book is done. And now, you know, when I think about what's next, I have to remind myself that fear is also excitement. So it's promoting the book.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be huge for me. It's a whole new, I'm used to promoting other people, not myself. So I'm jumping into that new world. I'm excited and nervous, meeting people. I'm looking forward to just seeing where this all goes. You know, it's just this blank slate, and I want all good things to happen. I'm very open. I'm ready for some surprises to see what happens next. And so it's going to be a great year.
I agree with you. I think you're going to have a wonderful year. You've done the hard work, right? And now there's new hard work, but it's on the other side of that. You know what you wrote, and nobody else does yet. So I think you're going to do amazing work. Are you going to be traveling the country doing your promotion, or are you doing this online?
Yeah, I already have a few things, people setting things up right now. There's an incredible organization called Happy Women Dinners, and it's run by a woman named Jill Daniel. and she has major authors that go all over the country. You host as the host. That's all you have to do is open your home, and a stellar, incredible author will come into your home. I've hosted for her a couple of times myself, and I had Natalie Wood's daughter here just a couple of months ago talking about her new memoir. And so I'm going to do a little tour for them, like a 14-city tour, and we'll see what, I'm in the process of, putting my team together and planning it all out. There'll be pre-orders, so you'll be hearing more from me on my Instagram and a lot of that. So, yeah, we have things that are coming down.
It's wonderful. And yeah, just let us know what the pre-sale stuff is about, and I'll make sure to put a post out on social media. I think it's important that all of our networks have some access to this information. Carla Ondrasik, I am so thrilled that you came back today and that you gave us such rich information and a wonderful conversation in light of all this stuff that's going on down there. So thank you for taking the time, and I'm glad that you did not get that phone call while we were talking. But we are going to be posting this coming Monday. So it will be out on the 13th of January. I had to think about that in my head for a second. And perfect timing as we are talking about those resolutions. You have just been a delightful guest as always, and I can't wait to talk to you again. For our listeners, like I said, it'll be back. This will be out on Monday. It drops in the morning, so we will look forward to getting some feedback from our listeners on how they liked this. I'm sure they're going to love it. Thank you so much. Well, that was just amazing. I had so much fun talking to Carla one-on-one. I missed Crystal, but honestly, I think that this was a wonderful interview. She was so much fun. She's an amazing individual, and I can't wait for this book to come out. I hope that you all will take the opportunity to get a copy. It's going to be going up for pre-sale soon, so hopefully we will all get a chance to see it when it comes out in September. Anyway, let's keep that conversation going. If you have questions or comments about the show, you can find us on all our social media channels at lifting_leaders. We have so many exceptional podcast episodes coming up this year with more fantastic guests. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. If you know someone who would find this episode inspiring, share it with them. Text them, email them, or take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram and tag us at lifting_leaders. If you'd like to know more about us, our guests, or the show, please go to our website at liftingleaderspodcast.com. You'll find our show notes there as well. If you're looking for help in developing your leaders or would like a growth opportunity yourself through leader coaching, please contact us through our website at www.liftingleaderspodcast.com. Thank you to Ari Chance Roberts for his technical support of our show. Finally, please take 30 seconds and follow us. It helps you because you never miss an episode, and it helps us because you never miss an episode. To follow us, go to Lifting Leaders Podcast Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Then just tap on the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow. While you're there, if you'll give us a 5-star rating and review and share the episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful. Thank you to Crystal for being here in spirit today. We're sorry we missed her, but she will be back next week. Many thanks to you, our listeners. We so appreciate you. Find ways every day to lift each other up. Bye-bye.